honestly, you can see that he's not giving a simple understanding of the text.
So when I said it was the Messiah, you rejected it. When your rabbis,
I rejected on a simple.
When your rabbis say it's the Messiah, you accept it. That's
I accept it as an exegetical.
Why is it wrong when
Because you are trying to force it as a simple explanation.
I'm exegeting the passage.
No, you're not. You're trying. You want to say that Isaiah 53 is exclusively about the Messiah, don't you?
I'm saying that it is about the Messiah. Yes.
Do you think it's exclusively about the Messiah?
Yes, I do think it's exclusively about the Messiah.
You're going to have to show me that from the text. Now, you can't run to the rabbis. You don't believe in the rabbis.
Well, I believe in your rabbis in this context. Yes.
Well, what about the rabbis who apply Isaiah 53 to Moses, or to Rabbi Akiba, or to...
What century do they live in?
Same century as Jonas ibn Israel.
Okay, show me.
You've got internet on your phone, but I've also got some stuff in here, I think. Hold on. You go to a website.
Okay, so this is even your Sanhedrin, 98b.
Yeah.
So it's all, this is the Babylonian Talmud.
Yes, I know what it says. I've read this a lot of times. This is not new things for me. I've been coming here for a while. If you have a look, I come here prepared.
Okay, so listen, this is Midrash Rabbi.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
This is Jewis Rabbi.
Midrash Rabbi.
On Ruth, yes.
Yes, and he's saying he is speaking of the King Messiah. Come hither, draw near to the throne, and dip thy morsel in the vinegar.
Yes.
This refers to the chastisement, as it is said, that he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities.
Now, can you read the previous line and the following line of that midrash, please?
Okay, you read it, because I
get it up on your thing. I'm going to see if I can find it here, if I still have it, which I hope I do. But please read the previous line and the following line.
Okay,
and tell me if the midrash is giving us exegetical explanations of verses from Scripture, or simple understandings of verses from Scripture.
In the same man also, midrash Tanhuma.
You're not answering my question, are you?
I'm just giving you some quotes, that's all.
I know the quotes.
And then I'll go back to you. And then
sure you will.
It says, "Who art thou, O great mountain?" This refers to the King Messiah. And why does he call him the great mountain? Because he is greater than the patriarchs. As it is said, "My servant shall be high and lifted up and lofty exceedingly." Talking about Isaiah. He will be higher than Abraham, who said, "I raise high my hand unto the Lord." Genesis 40:22. Lifted up above Moses, to whom it is said, "Lift up unto thy bosom, loftier than the ministering angels, of whom it is written, their wills were lofty and terrible. And out of whom does he come forth? Out of David."
Now, can you read these passages? Can you go back to the Jewis Rabbi quote first?
Let me just.
Right. In fact, you know what? Let's start from the beginning.
Okay, so
let's start from Targum.
So what I'm saying is the earliest. Let me just make this point quickly. Sorry, I'm going to let you have all this time. I'm just going to make my point.
You've made it already.
Well, what I'm saying is, the earliest point where people started saying it was Israel, Isaiah 53, was in the 11th century by Rabbi Shlomo.
False.
Okay, you're going to have to show me. And this is Rashi. And you need to remember, they're living in a medieval time where there's Catholic Christianity, where Christianity was pagan. And what Jews are trying to do, so there's no conflict. They're distancing themselves anything to do with Christianity. And that's why they reinterpreted Isaiah 53 to be about Israel.
So I think what you're saying is I'm just saying what your argument is that there are earlier sources than say
11th century.
Ben Azil, that suggests that the servant refers to Israel and not, let's say, a version of Mashiach, the Messiah. That's his argument.
That's my argument.
Just to simplify the argument,
the floor is yours now.
Right. Where's your phone gone?
So what do you want me to do?
Can you use your internet?
Yes.
Right. So let's look at each of the sources that you brought out, and I'm going to show you that the way you are representing these sources is not actually accurate. This is a misrepresentation of the source.
So the first point you've got to show me that prior to the 11th century,
I will show you
they taught that Isaiah 53 is solely about Israel.
I will show you that.
And in some sense, the Messiah does represent Israel. I don't dispute that.
I'm going to show you.
The servant.
Yeah. What did I say?
You said Messiah. You meant servant.
Right.
Okay, but the servant I think is the Messiah. Yeah.
I understand. Yeah. No, we're just keeping
The first text I'm going to read to you is from the Talmud Yerushalmi, right? The Jerusalem Talmud.
Which is around what, 3rd century, 4th century?
I'm not entirely sure when it was finished, but this is in the first tractate, Brachos, and it says, Rabbi Yonah said, it is written, therefore I will divide him a portion among the many, and he shall divide the spoil with the mighty. This is Rabbi Akiba, who taught Midrash, Halachas, and Agodas. Okay, that's one place.
I'm sorry, read that again, sorry, that went over my head.
Rabbi Yonah said,
yes,
it is written, therefore I will divide him a portion among the many, and he shall divide the spoil with the mighty. This is Rabbi Akiba, who taught Midrash, Halachas, and Agodas.
Yeah, but what
you want to know how that applies to the issue of the servant, which is the only issue he's talking about.
Right? Now, who is I will divide him a portion, right? You know that verse.
Yes,
Yeah, that's a verse from Isaiah 53.
Yes.
This Midrash here, this Gemara, this is in the Talmud Yerushalmi, right? One of our very early writings, right? Much earlier than the 11th century, is applying something other than the Messiah. Now, do you think that this is literal? Do you think this is a simple explanation of the chapter? Do you think that's a simple explanation of the chapter? Yes or no?
I'm saying that I want you to provide evidence.
I'm coming to that. I'm giving you one by one, like you did.
But you've just quoted it, but I don't know the context of what you're even quoting. What are you trying to say?
You didn't know the context of the things that you were reading.
I did.
I'll read you another one.
There's just a couple things, though, that I think would be helpful just for everyone, which is you're making a distinction between the simple explanation and an exegetical explanation. And to you, when you say, well, one is one and one is the other, I don't know that this gentleman understands the significance of the difference in the hierarchy, because you're suggesting that because you say his is exegetical, it somehow lacks foundation or meaning. Meaning you have to explain that concept.
Right.
Otherwise, you guys are talking way past each other.
Are you Jewish?
I am.
Okay, so you want no one.
But I don't know any. Hey, I'm here to listen and learn.
Okay,
so
okay, fair enough.
I'm just.
So my initial position was the earliest rabbis all taught that Isaiah 53 was about the Messiah.
Now I've just shown you a very early rabbi who says that it's about Rabbi Akiba.
That's what you were trying to say. So say that again.
Right?
Go on.
Rabbi Yonah says, it is written, therefore will I divide him a portion among the many, and he shall divide the spoil with the mighty. This is Rabbi Akiba, who taught Midrash, Halachas, and Agodas. So here we have a very, very early rabbi, right? From maybe the 1st or 2nd or 3rd century, I'm not sure when exactly Rabbi Yonah lived, in one of the first 3 centuries, right? Who says Isaiah 53, that's about Rabbi Akiba.
That's why I didn't understand. When you say about
Rabbi Akiba is the servant.
Okay, so you were saying that they applied this to a rabbi. Okay, now I'm understanding.
He was contemporaneous with the time period he's talking about.
Yes.
But they obviously
Rabbi
didn't teach.
Akiba was contemporaneous with
Jesus.
You're going another one, yes.
Then you've got another one, the Babylonian Talmud.
Yes.
In, again, Tractate Brachos. It says, and this is quite famous actually, Rava said in the name of Rav Korah, he said in the name of Rav Huna, whoever the Holy One blesses he desires, he sends suffering. As it says, yet it pleased the Lord to crush him by disease. We might think that this applies, even if he does not accept them with love. The verse teaches us, if his soul would offer itself in restitution, just like an asham requires knowledge, so suffering requires knowledge. And if he does accept them, what is his reward? He shall see his seed prolong his days. So what do we see from here? This Gemara in Brachos, very early, right? This is an Amoraic passage, so a little bit later than the one I explained before, is teaching us that God desires to cause suffering in order that the suffering should be accepted with love. And there's reward for suffering.
Okay, yeah,
right, for those
I'm not disputing that.
following. And it's where does it get this from? Isaiah 53.
Okay.
So if Isaiah 53 is only about the Messiah, then it can't be also about anyone, any individual who suffers.
Okay, so I think there are Gemaras that the righteous, the blood of the righteous can atone for the wicked or even for the nation.
Correct.
Okay, so this is my point. Your interpretation of Isaiah 53 being about Israel is erroneous. And what I'm saying is, like, where are you getting this from? Do you get my point? That's what I'm saying to you, you cannot find this interpretation until the 11th century.
I'm coming to this.
Okay, thank you.
The third place that we find in the Talmud is also in Brachos.
Yep.
There are 6 things that are a good sign for one who is sick, i.e. they indicate he is getting better. And one of the 6 things, I'll skip the first bunch because they're not relevant to what we're talking about.
Yep.
One of them is an involuntary seminal emission. As it is written, he will see seeds, he will live a long time. So now we're saying, Isaiah 53 is about anyone who has an involuntary seminal emission, because he will see seed and live a long time.
Okay.
That's the way this Gemara understands the chapter, clearly.
Okay.
Then we have another one. Now we have the Midrash in... one second. This is... here we go. Which Midrash is this? I'm trying to find where it is. This is in... No, this is from the Talmud. And it's from Sanhedrin, right? And it says, Rabbi Simlai taught, why was it that Moses, our teacher, desired to enter the land of Israel? Did he need to eat of her fruits? Did he need to satisfy himself with the good things of the land?
Sure.
But this is what Moses said. There are many commandments Israel is commanded with that can only be performed in the land of Israel. I will go to the land and have them performed by me. The Holy One, blessed is he, said to him, you did not ask for anything as a reward. I will consider it as if you had performed them, as it says, therefore will I divide him a portion among the many, and he shall divide the spoil with the mighty, because he bared his soul unto death, and was numbered with the transgressors, yet he bore the sin of many, and made intercession for the transgressors. Therefore will I divide him a portion among the many. One would think that this means only with the latter generations, and not the earlier ones. The verse tells us, he shall divide the spoil with the mighty. This is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Move away, they're going to get noisy. Every time he's got to come up. Do you want to move the camera over?
But yeah, we can agree about the trans stuff being sort of too much and that sort of thing.
Who was strong in Torah and mitzvahs, commandments, because he bared his soul unto death, because he gave himself over to death, as it says, and if not, blot me out, and was numbered with the transgressors. He was numbered with those who died in the desert.
Who's it referring to?
Moses.
Okay.
He bore the sin of many. He caused God's atonement for those who sinned with the golden calf.
Okay, let me just stop you there.
I'm about to finish. Made intercession for the transgressors. He prayed for mercy for the sinners of Israel, that they should return in repentance.
Okay, can I just stop you there?
Yes.
So in principle, you do not reject the concept of one man atoning for the sins of others?
Correct.
Oh, you don't?
Yes. When did I tell you that?
Okay, that's fine, because many people, well, I would have put Jews, well, I know Muslims think that Jews don't believe in this concept, that one man can atone for the sins of others, one righteous man.
Now, he doesn't atone for all of your sins, right? His atonement helps you, right? His suffering, his death helps with the atonement of your sins. He doesn't do it all for you.
Okay.
Right?
But let me just make this clear. So you can accept the concept of one righteous man atoning for the sin of the many.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the concept in the Gemara.
Thank you. No, that's good to know.
I've not finished.
Okay.
Oh,
sorry. I wanted to get you to Daniel chapter 9.
But we're not doing Daniel now. We're doing Isaiah 53.
No, because that's fine for me. That's all I want to hear from you.
No, I've got more to show you.
Okay. Do you know why? Because I thought you were repelled by the concept of one man atoning for the sins of many. But the fact that you're okay with that, then that's fine. Even if we disagree about Isaiah 53, the fact that you can accept that one man can atone for the sins of many, yes, okay, we're on the same page now.
Not totally.
No, but for Isaiah 53, that's fine. That's fine with me. I can be on that page with you now. So
you still believe, though, that Isaiah 53 is exclusively about one person.
Okay, fine.
Why do you believe that?
Okay, so
I want to ask you.
Okay, so I see.
Why do you believe it's exclusively about the Messiah?
So I see in Isaiah 53 that one man, one righteous man, is atoning for the sins of the many.
Why should that be exclusively the Messiah?
No, but I mean, that's what I see. That's the bigger picture I see.
Okay, fine.
So we both agree with that.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Why do you believe it's exclusively about the Messiah? Okay. Why? So
this is why I say it's about the Messiah, because it says he is high and lifted up. High and lifted up, meaning he is, according to Daniel 7, we see the Son of Man approaching the Ancient of Days, and this is where we see the Messiah high and lifted up. So what I'm saying to you is Isaiah 57, 53 is about the Messiah. Whether you believe it's Jesus or not, that's a separate issue for now. Do you understand my point? That's why I say it's about the Messiah.
I'm going to make another point now. Hold on.
No, do you want to respond to that point? And I'll keep quiet.
Okay, I'm going to
respond to why I think it's about the Messiah. Yes.
I would say to you that unless a passage actually says we're talking about the future Messiah, son of David, right, the future King David, that it's not an exclusive. It's not a passage that is exclusive to the Messiah. And in fact, some of the early church fathers believed this, like Origen, for example. Like he said that Isaiah 53 is primarily about the nation of Israel. Right? He said that. Yeah. Right? Now, we all agree the Messiah is from Israel. So when I say that Isaiah 53, the suffering servant, is Israel, that does not exclude the Messiah. The Messiah is included in that.
Okay.
Moses is included in that. Rabbi Akiba is included in that. Right? Jews who suffer an involuntary seminal emission are part of that. Jews who suffer are part of that. And because Israel can really be a metaphor for the righteous generally, we can say that this is talking about anyone who serves God, which is why it just says a very ambivalent and ambiguous term, my servant, without specifying my servant David, or my servant the righteous branch, or my servant stump of Jesse, or my servant Israel, as in other chapters, or my servant Moses, or my servant Akiba, or anything else. The reason it just says my servant is because it is ambiguous. It's supposed to be ambiguous so that it can refer to many different people at once.
Okay. So,
and you think it's exclusive to one man who died in the 1st century.
Okay, no, listen to my point first. I said let's just one step at a time. I'm saying it's about the Messiah.
Exclusively.
And
nobody else.
I'm explaining why.
Alright.
Now it uses the term, he was high and lifted up. The only time this appears in the book of Isaiah, and if you know the Hebrew, it's in chapter 6.
Okay.
I saw the Lord, I saw the divine, the Hashem, high and lifted up.
Sure.
So, who's the only person in the Hebrew scriptures who is lifted up to the throne of God?
Well, you're going to say the Messiah, aren't you?
Okay.
And you're going to base it, what did you say? Elijah went up to heaven.
Yeah,
but anyway, but you're going to try and bring Daniel chapter 7 as your proof. And that again is going to fall flat on its face. And the reason it's going to fall flat on its face is because that also you are not going to be able to show that it is an exclusive prophecy about the Messiah. You're not going to be able to show that.
So let me show you why it is. One, like the Son of Man, approaches the Ancient of Days.
Yes.
And all the nations. Let me actually read it.
Okay.
English perfect, they will answer every.
And let's see if you can give another candidate for this person.
Yeah, easy.
And how God pray for God.
Okay, it says that he says that his kingdom is an everlasting kingdom.
Yeah.
Whose kingdom is going to be an everlasting kingdom? Which God promised David that his seed would have an everlasting kingdom. So who's this referring to?
David. There you go. You can have David.
No.
You can have Abraham. You can have Moses.
No, you're lying on your
scriptures. You can have the Jewish people. No, I'm not lying. Because if you
this promise is to David.
Have you ever read the whole of chapter 7?
Have
you actually ever read the whole of chapter 7?
Yeah, of course I have.
Go to verse 24.
Go to
verse 24.
No, let me just make my point.
24.
God made a promise to David, and he said his seed, his descendant, his kingdom will be everlasting. Now who is that to?
Just told you.
Who is that?
It's anyone who's going to have this everlasting kingdom. The everlasting kingdom is not only of the actual king, it's of the whole nation who have it. And all the righteous within it.
How can you not just simply say Messiah? King Messiah?
Because it's not exclusive to him. That's why.
So you can tell me of another person other than the Messiah that will have an everlasting kingdom.
I just told you.
Who?
David. David will have an everlasting kingdom through the Messianic kingdom. The Jewish people as a whole will have an everlasting kingdom through the Messiah. Abraham, Isaac and Jacob.
This promise was given to David.
Can you continue? Go to verse 24.
No, but
please.
No, because now I think you're trying to...
No, you're the one who shifted.
The promise of the everlasting kingdom was not given to David, it was given to his descendant. So why are you saying, how can you say it's
promised it to David?
Do you want me to read it? In Samuel?
Promised it to David, yeah.
Okay, should I read it?
Yeah.
Okay.
mean, I prefer
So
you
you're
first.
saying-
I prefer you first to actually read the rest of this chapter.
Okay, let's go to Daniel. Okay, let me just read it.
Continue
and it goes,
reading.
The saints of the Most High. His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom,
Yes.
and all dominions shall serve and obey him.
Yes. Continue. Don't stop
And
there.
it says, this is the end of the account. As for me, Daniel, my thoughts greatly troubled me, and my countenance changed.
Did Daniel
But I
understand?
kept the matter in my heart.
So he didn't understand. Carry on. What happened next? What happened next
In the
to
third
story?
year of the reign of King Nebuchadnezzar,
What?
of King Belteshazzar, sorry. Daniel chapter 7.
Which verse?
From 7 verse,
You've gone all the way here.
yes.
Why? I'm here. I thought you were starting from verse 14.
Because this is talking about the Messiah.
You were talking about the Son of Man, right?
Yes.
That's verse 14.
Yes.
Read from here. Read from verse 15. Right?
So okay, let's just talk about it. Let's go.
Read from the
I
Son
was
of Man.
watching in the night vision, and behold, one like the Son of Man, coming with the clouds of heaven.
Yes.
He came to the Ancient of Days.
Yes.
So do you accept that high and lifted
Yes,
up to the throne of God? Okay.
Carry on. That we don't disagree about that. Carry on.
And they brought him near before him. Okay. Then to him was given dominion and glory and the kingdom, that all peoples, nations, and languages shall serve him.
Yes. Carry on.
His dominion is an everlasting dominion,
Yes.
which shall not pass away, and his kingdom, the one which shall not be destroyed.
Carry on. Not finished.
I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit within my body. My eyesight's not very good, so I'm struggling. And the visions of my head troubled me. I came near to one of those who stood by and asked him the truth of all of this. So he told me and made known to me interpretation of these things.
So he didn't understand the vision.
And then it talks about all the beasts.
And the attendant explains the vision. So what does the attendant say?
It says these great beasts, which are four kings or four kingdoms, which arose out of the earth.
Yes.
But the saints of the Most High shall receive the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever.
Yes.
Yes. Is that what you want me to read?
Yeah. Carry on. A bit more.
Then I watched to know the truth about the fourth beast. I don't think this is relevant. I don't think.
It's going to be.
Okay. To know the truth about the fourth beast, which was different from all the others, exceedingly dreadful, with its teeth of iron and its nails of bronze, which devoured, broke in pieces and trampled the residue with its feet.
You don't believe it?
A little bit more.
Because you don't believe it.
Yes. I know.
And the
Not
10
read this
horns
before.
that were on its head, and the other horn which came up, namely which three fell, namely that horn which had eyes and a mouth, which spoke pompous words, whose appearance was greater than his fellows. I was watching, and the same horn was making war against the saints and prevailing against them, until the Ancient of Days came, and a judgment was made in favour of the saints of the Most High. And the time came for the saints to possess the kingdom.
Yes. So who's going to possess the kingdom?
No doubt, the people of Israel.
Yeah.
No doubt. But who?
Who does the attendant explain the first beast as being? A kingdom.
Yes.
Who does the attendant explain the second beast? Another kingdom.
Yes.
Who does he
Or kings, or kingdoms,
right?
yeah.
Who does he explain the third beast?
Yes.
Another kingdom. The fourth beast, another kingdom.
Yes.
The Son of Man, the saints.
No.
The holy ones of the
One
Most
like
High.
he sees one person.
Yeah.
One like the Son of Man.
So what?
He doesn't see a
how
nation.
Why does the attendant not mention the Son of Man?
Say that again.
Why does the attendant not mention the one like the Son of Man?
Hold on. Are you telling me your rabbis do not say this one like the Son of Man is not the Messiah?
That's not what I said.
Okay, so why are you arguing against your rabbis?
I'm not arguing against my rabbi.
Okay.
Is the Messiah part of Israel?
Yes.
Yes. So if I say that the attendant is explaining the one like the Son of Man as the Holy Ones of the Most High, i.e. Israel, that of course includes the Messiah, because the King of Israel is the heart of Israel. The King of a nation is the heart of the nation.
Okay. So my point is, I think we're kind of agreeing. The Messiah will come and return and take down Islam. It's a little will come and take down Islam and return and Hinduism and every other ism and return the kingdom back to the saints.
Yes.
And you agree that's what the Messiah is going to do?
Yes.
So the point that you disagreed with me, and this is what I said to you. You said, why is Isaiah 53 about the Messiah? And I said exclusively, and I said to you, there is only one person who is taken up, high and lifted up to the throne of God. And according to this, it's the Messiah.
So I just
that's why.
Because I see here that the attendance.
Sorry, did you want to say something?
That the,
find something to know.
why?
It turns out that
Yeah.
I found something interesting in the book of Hebrews. You know when it explains about the Messiah, and it explains about the blood sacrifice being needed, but rather than animals. So what happens is in Hebrews 10,
He won't accept the New Testament. That's the problem.
This is to do with Psalms.
Okay.
So there's a difference between the two. So essentially, it's quoting Psalms 40.
This one, yeah. He misquotes Psalm 40.
So it's quoting Psalms 40, but the problem is if you go from the Masoretic text, it doesn't have what's in Hebrews. You have to actually go to a Septuagint, but that's in Psalm 39. And Psalm 39 actually says wasn't, but in the Masoretic text, it doesn't say wasn't.
Yeah.
So the thing is, what Josh could do is say he goes with the Masoretic text and no Septuagint, and then you can't use Hebrews.
Well, I'm not going to be persuaded by Hebrews anyway, because Hebrews is a Pauline text.
No, but it's,
And I don't accept Paul.
It's Psalms I'm talking about.
I know, but it's misquoting the Psalms.
Right, but do you, the Septuagint version, do you accept that or
No.
say?
No.
So you only go with Masoretic text?
Yeah, because that's the Textus Receptus. That's the text that we have preserved.
Right, okay.
We don't care about some Greek mistranslations. It doesn't matter to us.
Right.
It matters as much to us as the Peshitta, the Syriac translation. It's irrelevant. Totally irrelevant.
Right.
So that's why I say it's exclusively. I said, so who are? Okay. So let's hear your point of view. I'm saying this person who's righteous and he sins atones for the unrighteous. Who else is high and lifted up to the throne of God?
Every single righteous person.
It's reserved.
Yeah, every single righteous person.
Where are you getting that from?
They were ordained, servants of God, those who serve God. Those who serve God, they get raised up.
No, but
Simple.
Well, are you
Simple explanation.
based on what scriptures?
Isaiah 53. Isaiah 53:13 says, my servant. Those who serve me, right? My servant.
It's singular, no?
goes
It's
up.
singular, no?
That bit's singular. Later on there's plural. There's plural in 53
Okay,
verses
so
8 and
if it's singular, it's not significant.
No.
My servant shall be high. And hold on, let me just. Isaiah is seeing a vision.
If I show you 73, you're going to show me 99. I can go through this passage.
You see, if you turn to, what's the time by the way?
Okay, so it says this, listen.
Check the time. We're going to go in about 5 minutes, so we've got 5 more minutes of this.
Isaiah 52, verse 13.
Let's go to Isaiah 53, verse.
Can we not go to and then build?
We're running out of time.
Go to the foundation and we can build
We're
up.
running out of time, and I want to show you something. Right? I want to show you something. If you turn to verse number
You said
8.
Right. Yeah. Now,
Verse number 8. Read what it says in your Bible.
He was taken from prison and from judgment, and who will declare his generation? For he was cut off from the land of the living. For the transgression of my people he was stricken.
So that's the problem. Because in the Hebrew it doesn't say he was stricken.
Okay.
It says they were stricken.
Okay.
And the issue for you is that in this verse, and also in the following verse, if you read the following verse as well, read the following verse too, so verse number 9.
And they made his grave with the wicked, but with the rich at his death. So we had this debate, we had this argument, we had this disagreement last
It was
time.
you I spoke to.
Yes, and even your interpretators use a singular. So what I'm trying to say to you,
No, they use the
Let's not go over it. Let's not go over it. Let's not do
because
this.
you didn't get it then and you're not getting it now.
Go on.
And I'm going to explain this to you before I leave, because I actually have other things I need to do.
No problem.
So let me explain this. The onus is actually on you. If we have pronouns in the chapter that refer to the servant in the plural, and we have two of them, right? We have one saying of them, and the other is that he's got multiple deaths. If that's the case, that cannot exclusively refer to an individual. It has to refer to more than one. And I put it to you that the simplest understanding of the chapter, since the word servant is ambiguous, it should be interpreted simply to refer to anyone who serves God.
Okay. So let me go back to 52:13. It says, "Behold, my servant shall deal prudently. He shall be exalted and extolled, and be very high. Just as many were astonished at you, so his visage." What's the word for visage in Hebrew?
Appearance.
His appearance was marred more than any man,
Yeah.
and his form more than the sons of men. So, is it talking about somebody in the plural or in the singular?
There it's in the singular, yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
I know, because you can have, and you have it all the time, you can have a group of people being referred to in the singular. But what you never have is an individual being referred to in the plural. That you never have. Which is why the onus is on you to prove how it is that you have two verses that use the plural with reference to the servant, and yet you claim the servant is one person. It doesn't work. Whereas I have no problems with verses changing from referring to the servant in the singular to the plural. I've got no problem with that because it does it all the time. It's normal.
So I think we've made a bit of progress from last time, I think. Point number one, we both agree the death of the righteous can atone
Yes.
for the unrighteous.
Yes.
That's good. Point number two, some point that the earliest rabbis believed that this suffering servant was an individual.
All that means is that in the early
No. Come on, your earliest rabbis. They said it was, even if you Rabbi who he said it was?
Akiba.
Yeah, but Akiba.
Or Moses.
So he believed.
Yes, but who else did I say?
Hold on, one second. No, but that's not. That doesn't dismiss my point.
No, but I showed you people who didn't hold that it was an individual.
No, I'm saying all the people they were all individuals. Moses.
No, not all of them.
You said
one of them was anyone who experiences an involuntary seminal
yes,
emission.
yes.
Another
But
one was
still-
anyone who suffers.
Still individual.
That's not an individual.
Anyone. So it's talking about in an individual basis.
Sure, every single individual,
Okay.
right? Which is why we can refer to them as a collective, or collectively people who serve God, i.e. my servant. My individual servants, each and every one of them is an
So were they
individual.
wrong for?
We are all individuals.
Okay, were they wrong? Were your rabbis wrong for interpreting it as Moses?
No, because that is drush, it's exegesis.
No. So were they wrong interpreting it as Moses?
No, they weren't wrong.
But you just said
Moses is a righteous individual.
No, but listen to your point.
Is Moses a righteous individual?
Of course, I agree.
There you go.
But listen to my
You
point.
agree?
No, you said that the person it's talking about is in the plural.
I know.
So how's Moses in the plural?
Because Moses is not the only person.
It could
You're
be an
claiming it's
individual,
the
but not
only person.
No.
It can't
You're
be
missing my point.
an exclusive
You're
individual.
missing my point.
No, you're missing my point.
No, listen to
Do you
the
even
point.
understand what I'm saying?
Listen to the point I'm
No,
trying
you
to
don't,
make.
do you?
No, I understand everything you're trying to say.
Really, what did I just say?
You're saying this servant cannot be is that your position? This servant cannot be an individual.
Exclusively.
No.
Exclusively.
So it can be an individual.
What does exclusively?
Could be an individual.
So it could be an individual.
Yes.
Fine, okay. I thought you were saying it couldn't be an individual.
I'm saying it cannot exclusively be one person. You're saying it can. That it
Your
is
rabbi said it
exclusively
can.
one. No, our rabbis are bringing lots of different people. One says Moses, one says Akiba, one says...
None of them said this only. Listen, what you're missing is you're saying X applies to Y, and you're suggesting that it says X applies only to Y, and it
not anyone
doesn't
else.
say only.
No.
That's the disagreement you're having. You're adding only. You're
I'm
not
saying
adding
either.
only.
For the sake of this argument, I'm not saying this is Messiah. For the sake of, I believe it's the Messiah, but for the sake of this argument, I'm not. I'm saying this servant can apply to an individual. I thought your argument said it couldn't be applied to an individual.
I'm saying it can be applied to every righteous individual. Every righteous individual.
So let me make it plain. Could this be applied to one individual?
No, it has
like
to be
Moses, like Moses.
Every righteous
like
individual,
like
including Moses.
No, but he didn't say every individual, including Moses. He said this applies to Moses.
He didn't say only. You're interpreting as an only. I'm interpreting as an even. An even makes more sense than only.
Let me give you an example. X applies to all Y. Z is a member of Y. X applies to Z.
Okay.
All you're reading is X applies to Z. That's all. Okay. And you're both saying, you're just saying X applies to Y, which is a group of people, and Z is just one of the people.
I'm saying that so it could be the Messiah.
Sure.
Okay.
I don't disagree.
I think you might have said it does apply. I think you might have affirmatively said it does apply to Messiah. I think he did say that.
Because Messiah is a righteous individual.
I'm listening.
No, I've debated him before.
Messiah is a righteous
recording,
individual.
he said.
No, in this recording, in the previous recording, he said this applies to the nation of Israel, and it cannot be the Messiah.
Exclusively.
No, but that's not.
Saying
That wasn't your position before.
I was saying before.
No, that's not fine.
You changed Judaism. You've done a mitzvah.
No, that's fine. No, I agree. Now I see that. Okay, you are opening your mind to the possibility.
Clarifying.
For my first debate, I thought that you said it couldn't be the Messiah. That was, I thought, your point.
I was at that debate. That was over on that.
Yes.
I was here. That was 8 weeks ago.
Yeah. So no, okay, fine. Yeah, okay. So point number one, Isaiah 53 could be about the Messiah.
Yes.
Point number two, which I think that I've come, and this is what I've learned from this exchange. It could be about the Messiah. Point number two, the death of the righteous can atone.
Yes.
For the unrighteous.
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful.
Okay.
That's helpful.
And I think we've managed to cover
just
some very
one
important.
step closer to the truth.
I think you're a bit closer to understanding the difference between exclusive, between verses that exclusively refer to the Messiah and verses that do not exclusively refer to him but can be applied to him.
You know, even for the sake of argument,
here's what the real issue is.
I would let go.
Let me explain what I think the real issue is with your contention, and I have no ability to argue with it, but just from the language, is that you exclude the righteous other than Messiah. You exclude. You exclude. You are an exclusionary kind of person, and you are not.
Yes.
There's a reason.
Yeah.
I don't know about the
Sacrifices in the Old Testament, they were unblemished.
Yes.
So how do we get to those people to be unblemished?
Because these are not those sacrifices. These are a totally different thing.
Okay.
Totally different.
This is my last point. My last point I want to just quickly say to you this. I think that there is a chronological order that definitely proves that Messiah had to come prior to the destruction of Jerusalem.
Well, that's going to have to be next week.
Yes.
Because I've got to go now.
Okay, we'll have that debate
next week.
Cheers, mate.
Do your research. Daniel chapter 9.
I know Daniel 9 very well.
Okay.
I know it very well.
All right, God bless you. Nice talking to you as
You've got your
always.
work cut out for you next week.
Bring all the paperwork, yeah?
I've got it here.
Okay. How you doing? Are you good, yeah?